What is up, crawler fans, RC enthusiasts, and social media surfers? I'm your boy Josh with Texoma RC. K5 battle, Bronco, Gladiator kinda, and a Slayer to start, but it doesn't make it very far. Don't know what happened with that motor system. Something happened, died. Maybe battery, hopefully that's it. We'll figure it out. Looking amazing, dude. Totally killing the scale shots. We got freaking bags in the deal. We had awesome cars all along the way. I didn't show them off, dude. Didn't check the footage. Oh, come on. Dude, I'm sure glad you're here. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. We're just out to be on a little tour. We got the K5, the tough truck in the very front, followed by Sammy, also in the black K5. Got the cool bumper. I could not find mine. I lost it. I hope to find it soon. But it looks super cool with those lights in there. Just a great job, dude. I love this truck. Super duper clean looking. All right, dude. Come on, Sammy. Figure it out, bro. Totally different driving than our normal driving. The scale trucks and freaking hoods and dashes and one of them dashes. What the hell? Roofs, all that kind of cool stuff is rad. Bumpers and stuff. It's terrible. This is just terrible, bud. But you know what? It was a good day. We had a great time, man. Really pushed the limit. We only broke a few times. And then the Slayer. Can a Slayer make it through that line? Great job. It's tough, dude. Tough. It shows you the perspective, bro. I wish he would have made it farther because he would have just been cruising over all this. Nothing would have been hard for him. So this was a great day, man. Just really pushing the limits. Love the tough truck, man. It's just a great experience. Everything except bumpers, dude. I hate the bumpers. And also, one of the problems, the FCX 24, the plastic gears. They're absolutely terrible. That's why you see my rear wheel not turning. Got me screwed up from the very beginning of this thing. It doesn't cost me the whole time, but it's definitely not 100%, dude. Here we go, Craig in the red and white. We didn't name any of these, dude. They're all K-Fizzies at this point, bro. Looking clean. It's got to be one of the cleanest looking trucks, dude. Just looks so cool. I think Sammy's got a steering wheel in his. You got a dude in there, but it's so dark you can't see anything. Pretty cool though, dude. And then now, followed up by the TRX 4M, except for the line was so long, dude, on the first few obstacles and just getting going. It was really hard to try to get the guys in the back. Just because I was so far away, I couldn't pull forward. See, here I am. Now I'm trying to shoot the guys in the back as I move out of the way, dude. So I felt bad because it's like, man, I just showed everybody off and then missed you guys. Like, what a jerk. I tried, dude. I tried. The line is just so long. 6 guys on the rocks, especially on a terrain like this, is really, really hard. It's not like out at Waterloo where I can kind of get back and have perspective. That doesn't happen out here. We got trees and rocks and everything that's in the way. It's not just up on a hill. So, but I thought it turned out pretty freaking good. So I thought we got better at trying to stay together and then on the obstacles, letting each other go. So everybody got to get shown off. We kind of got it worked out by the end. So I ended up holding down leader for the whole video. We had another 30 minutes of video that I could have held on to and edited and whatever, but it got kind of a little bit too much, a little bit boring. There was a lot of trial just catching up on things that really weren't cool to watch, and so I went ahead and just cut that out. So anyways, it was a great struggle, dude. Great struggle. It was awesome to have all the guys out, and so in the back there, again, cut him short, dude. That was David in the Gladiator. Really, it's a CR18P with the Gladiator body thrown on the top. Quick like, just to have something to come play with us. Again, normally we would be playing Slayers, as you know, and or at least, you know, baddies, and these really aren't there. Although the tough truck here, this thing is pretty rad. The bumpers really kill it, you know, so I can't really do anything more than they're doing. So this thing right here is incredibly stable. It's running the weight system that I made in the chassis and whatever, not for sale yet. But, you know, with these tiny tires, that huge belly is not real helpful all the time. A lot of fun, dude. Again, on the range and things like that, it's killer. In the loose rocks, you could see that it kind of cost me a few times. Although I was able to make it work and hold down a leader for freaking 30 minutes. Let's go, dude. Come on. Look at that shot, bro. That's what you get for showing off, Craig. Craig was definitely pushing the limits right there just to show off. He thought it looked pretty. I thought it looked pretty. We all thought it looked pretty. Thanks for showing off for buddies, Craig. That was dope. Sorry it didn't work out for you, bud. You lost your position to the back of the line. See right here, Sammy had it going good and then just caught the front of his hood, or maybe it was the bumper on something, and no bueno, bro. Push the rear end out, and I mean, he ended up making it, but just not super clean. So we're coming up into the next obstacle here. Not next obstacle, it's just the second part of the obstacle. And looking clean, dude. Looking clean. Great job. I definitely think those tires are probably a little too big for the K5. It does work, but it's just rubbing. So about 56 is pretty much perfect. Going over that, you start to have body rub. So just expect, if you have a K5, that if you want to go beyond 56 millimeters on your tires, you're probably going to need to either push them out real far, which it just increases actually, or start to cut the body. So just expect that, or you can just jack the thing way up there. That's what some people like to do. I wouldn't like to do that because that sounds like really tippy to me, and you know that I run side hill, dude. So 2 of our 3 favorite places to run have massive side hills, so you cannot run these super stilty rigs. It just tips over. It's not very fun. That's why I have the setups that I do, because it's the terrain that we run on. So just so you know, throwing it out there, my setup isn't for everybody. You know, if you don't have the style of driving that I have, and you don't have the terrain that I have, then you're probably not going to need the setup that I run. So that's pretty simple, dude. Makes sense, dude. Makes sense. If you're struggling with setup, or you want to have questions with setup, it'd be best to try to watch some videos and see videos that guys have rocks or rigs that are similar to what you want to do, right? If you have chunky rocks, you know, you're going to have a certain setup. If you have a lot of big slopes and slick rocks, you're going to have a certain setup, you know. And so if you have all of it, then like me, I try to have an in-between rig that maxes out everywhere. So that doesn't really happen because it's not going to keep up directly, but you just learn how to drive it so that it does keep up directly. So just skills, bro. It's all compromises, and getting what you have to work on your terrain. So there you go, dude. That's that. As far as upgrades on the hill, I'm running the Slaymo wheels, Avi, with the Mofo brass inserts. Everything else is maybe a little bit of brass, I don't know. Pretty much stock on that one other than my parts. So not going to talk about that. Craig is running, or that's Sammy running, I think those are Endura brass wheels with the Endura, what are the new, like 57s or something like that. They're just a little bit bigger than the trenchers. No, so those dogs be barking for sure. Anyways, I think that's pretty much all that he was running on his as upgrades. Then in the TRX4M, that's a whole load of upgrades. That thing is pretty rad, actually. Got motor, and I don't know if he was running the Enduro Pro or the Holmes Hobbies. The guys have really been liking both the Enduro Pro, the big can for that TRX4M, as well as the Holmes Hobbies motors. I have not had a chance to really mess with each Traxxas rigs just because Slaymo, you know what I'm saying? We got a Slaymo, lots going on. Love to get into the Traxxas rigs, but that's not where we are yet. Here we go. Right now, FCX 24s, dude. That's what we're on. That's what we're doing. Having a great day. Look at it go. Keeps on kicking. The motor system feels really good. It's super fun to be able to have the 2-speed. You have super duper low end crawl, definitely plenty of torque. You will break stuff just like we have broke stuff. 2 of us broke the same thing. It's the differential inside the plastic differential, the D cup. It just spins out. It's a silly design. Put a pin on it or make it metal. Either way, dude, it's not going to last that way ever. ever. You know, this was the second time that these cars have been out, and guys are trying to be sensitive, and I know I was trying to be super sensitive. I know this mine's not the first time out, but I'm pretty sure that was a brand new one. No, I just replaced the front one, so I don't know how many hours or whatever, how many packs the back one has on it. But I have stripped them out first run. No bueno. Definitely a ton of torque for plastic parts. Differentials anyway. Looking good, dude. Freaking killer. I'm running trenchers, obviously, and Craig and the orange one's running trenchers also with the same Enduro brass wheels. All right, looking good, Samo. Followed by Sam's nephew in the TRX4M. Look at the flex. It's definitely on a different level. He is running a stock battery, stock ESC, I believe. But that motor definitely is spicy. He's got shocks and wheels and weights and extensions and all kind of stuff, putting him on a different level. Plus the wheelbase really makes it not fair. By the way, if you're trying to compare the K5 to a Traxxas performance-wise, not the same thing, bro. Not even freaking close. It's just like the wheelbase already is just, that alone makes a huge difference. Then the FCX24 is on portals compared to the Traxxas, which is slammed as low as it freaking can be, so it has no belly clearance. It performs very well. It can do a lot of things. It's really clean out of the box. Not going to be a comparison if you want to do a little bit of crawling. The Traxxas out of the box is definitely going to be better. If you're buying it for performance, there's no question that the Traxxas is going to beat the FCX24 in the K5 version. This body is very heavy, it's very big, it's very short and wide and stubby, got huge bumpers. It's just not the same thing, right? And there's nothing really that you can do to fix it. It's most of the stuff it's the vehicle that it is, so if you start to change it, you're going to have to cut the body and whatever. So it's just different, not quite as set up just for crawling. So obviously I think it's very cool. I think it's very capable, can do some very cool things. But to compare the two out of the box is not the same. Traxxas will definitely be a better performer than the K5. Pretty simple. But I think that the FCX24 platform is very, very good. It can be tweaked. It's just if you're looking for a performer, I wouldn't buy a K5. Like if I was looking for a performer, I didn't buy this. I was given this by Fair RC. Shout out to Fair RC. If you need a model, if you need something cool, check out Fair RC. They have all kind of cool stuff. But yes. I was given that model, but these guys pay for these. Why? Because they look freaking rad. It's something different than what's out there. Obviously, we want them to keep up, and obviously we can put money to keep up. But at the same time, that Traxxas right there has a ton of money in it compared to, like what Sammy's running in his K5. I think it's just literally just wheels and tires. So not a fair comparison. You're like, oh wow, the Traxxas is way better. Not the same thing, dude.
You want to go back there?
It is very good. I do like the feel of the Traxxas. It is a very capable rig.
I'm trying to keep everybody
I think that it has more of a limit when you start to go performer, but at the same time you can just go really big tires or whatever. I do think that it would probably be the best option if you did want to go to something like a super. I think those axles are probably the toughest axles that you can get. So whatever you have, it doesn't really matter. I think it's more just about learning what you have, learning how to make that better and do what you want is the most important thing. They all have benefits and they all have drawbacks. The whole entire thing is a compromise the whole time. And so, to have the best is only if it's the best for what you want it to do, right? Like if it doesn't do what you want it to do, then it doesn't matter how much money is spent on it, how cool it looks, it doesn't, none of that stuff matters if it won't do the things that you want it to do, and so at the end of the day, just understand your vehicle and that it's for certain things, and when you use it for those things, it should be rad. It's pretty simple. And, when you start pushing and comparing, different wheelbase in this, especially at this size, is incredible. And also, again, the portals versus the straight axles, that's until you start adding a ton of weight and you do other things and shocks and whatever, it's not even fair. It's like totally not even fair. Traxxas to FCX 24 or CR18P as far as stability, they're slammed way down, but then you start to look at belly clearance and whatever, and the FCX 24 and CR18P smash them. Axle clearance, smash them, not even close. So like it's just, again, there's always more than one way to look at it, and it's just, I don't like to say one is the best, right? Like even the Slayer, it's not the best for everything, right? It's best for slaying. If you look at my terrain, if you like what I do, it's going to be the best for that. My setup is best for that. It's not going to be the best for everything. It's not going to be the best if you don't understand what it was made for, and how to correct for being super low. If you don't know that, then you're just going to go belly out and you're going to say this thing sucks. It's just, but again, it's each person has their own skills. Each person has their own preference. Why the heck they're even crawling? Obviously a lot of us are similar, but each one of us is looking for something different out of the rig. So I try to leave room and give people, for what they're doing, right? Like you encourage people in what they're doing because other people have done that for me. Whether I don't know necessarily that these people actually do the same thing in their life, but they've extended encouragement to me, and I try to do the same thing to the guys around me and the guys on the comments or whatever, or guys on YouTube. You find video, maybe it's not the same style I'm doing, but it's still you can comment on the cool things that they do, right? We don't always have to just point out the negative things around us and, in everything, right? Everything has negative things, right? But there's always positives, not that we have to overlook negative things. Sometimes they're just so negative that it's just over, right? Again, if you were trying to build this with a Slayer, although you could do it, I wouldn't recommend it, right? It's just, why? Don't. It's not going to be the best, right? If you want an aftermarket chassis for something like this, Slayer is not what that's for, right? There's definitely other people out there, other chassis out there, way better for me than this. I would just use a stock chassis for the most part. It's pretty much as low as you get. They did a pretty good job on that setup. It's really high, and in these cars, and then it has a massive body on a shorty chassis, right? It's just, what do you expect, right? It's going to be tip over, dude. You got massive bumpers. It's going to catch. What did you expect? And they thought they got the leadership from me right there. Nope. Try again, bud. Dude. Try again. Not going to take it from me, bro. This thing's stable. You can tip it over, right back. Tip it over, right back. We got no problem, bud. But I couldn't get around. This is, again, belly with this small of a tire. This thing is actually a super belly at this point, running these tires. And so trying to wrap around this rock, I just could not do it. And not good. So finally we went ahead and just pulled out. Just pulled out, dude. Not yet. Come on, bud. Let's get over it. Let's go. Still trying? What the heck? I try not to do this, dude. I don't like to sit there and continue to retry an object, or an objective, I guess, an obstacle. I try not to just do that. Everybody's watching you. If you can't get it, just move on.
This is not the good side, dude.
Just move on.
Any way you can make it up here, dude. Whatever you see.
Also, a total redirect is usually not called for as a leader. And if you try to go up an obstacle, you'll see to me, if you're trying to go up an obstacle as a leader and you don't go up exactly the way you called it, then, you know, you probably shouldn't continue, maybe to the back of the line, you know. So that's kind of the way I run. I always give up the leader. Well, I don't always. I should have restarted. That's why I kept going right there. I knew that I was going to be stuck. I just pushed forward, trying to leave clearance for the guys behind me, and I knew when I pushed the trigger, I was like, oh, crap, that's going to suck. So I should have just repositioned
this chunk type stuff is like
without being on camera, but that was the way I intended to go, and it's just like, crap.
It doesn't
had to redirect, dude. Had to redirect. Don't typically do that, but it's okay, dude. So this is the gnarly little chunk. This is where it starts to really get really hard. This chunk stuff is just, it doesn't really look that cool. Actually, it's pretty like attractive looking at this point, but it doesn't look that hard. Although the chunk rock can potentially be some of the hardest stuff that you go on. Stuff that's like around the same size as your tire. Some of the pieces a little bigger, some of the pieces smaller. That stuff is like the hardest thing because it goes and it gets stuck on your axles, differentials. It goes and sucks up underneath the car, like up inside between the wheel and the car. You know, so it's just like right there. He just hung up on the rear axle. Super duper hard stuff. And there can be so many points that it's like hard to understand like where your wheels need to be to clear all of them, you know. So anyways, just hard. That's got to be one of the hardest things going through the stupid chunk rock, and it doesn't look very cool at all.
Hell yeah.
So definitely not sexy flexy. Here we go, dude. I couldn't hold this, man. Like I kept pushing up, and this round rock, I wasn't high enough, and it just slipped off. Dang it. Super hard. I tried, dude. Run up here, and there's no way. My rear tire is going to fall off into the hole. So I back up, try to get another run at it. Really trying to keep that passenger tire up the wall. Obviously not pointed up in the air, but with it on an angle. So what I'm trying to do right now is to get my rear driver high enough on that rock that I just fell onto. So it didn't happen, but I was high enough to clear my belly, which was the most important thing. And then from there, it was just a struggle to push all the way through.
Hold on a second. This is where we're really
So definitely when you're running a belly, you have to use other obstacles, things that are not necessarily directly part. You got to use V's and all these type of things to clear your belly. So this is where it gets tricky, dude, and I missed right there. That little rock that my passenger tire hit, I was expecting it to be there. It slipped. Then right there, my steering, I twisted, and my rear end went the wrong way. I need my rear end to go towards the passenger, not towards the driver. And I didn't see that there was any way of fixing it. So instead of trying to flip over, we're going to see if we can make it down. So, I don't know if you can hear it in the background. I called this. I didn't call the flip over, but I did call the whole thing, dude. It just didn't let go quite the way I intended. And so, anyways, here we go. That's not quite it, but it's exactly how I called landing. So, pretty good tricks. Let's go, dude. That's why I left all this buzz.
A little different than I intended.
Sorry. Could have just let them
my
talk.
bad. I didn't call the 180 in there, dude.
Let's go, Sam.
Damn it.
Let's go, Sammy. You got it. See, he's not quite gripping. Should have been up a little bit tighter on that first approach to get the car not to be up in the air like that, but that it would start to have tipped earlier. He needed his rear passenger tire to start gripping on the high rock on the right side. And so now he's bellied out and in the hole. There's no coming back from that one. Sorry, dude. Sorry, buddy. Better luck next time. I left it in here. He hella fought. I was like, dude, don't break. Just call it done. Just call it. But I left it because he was going to fight. I didn't want to short him, dude. He almost had it right there. If you could, right there, if you could potentially turn your wheels up and back up. But yeah, it's just you needed to turn the wheels up and get the front to go down underneath. He potentially could have saved that right there, but maybe not. That would have been what I would have said to do right there. So as he was flipped up, to wheels to the sky and then back up, and it potentially could have got it. There you go. So same thing, dude. Just the rear end is way too far out there. It had to be, the driver had to be on that rock. So not going to happen if you don't go on that rock. It's just going to belly out and screw you. Sorry, dude. Good luck. Better luck next time, guy. Appreciate you coming to play. It was a great run. Oh, dude, he's just tearing it up, bro. Just tearing the course. I'm pretty sure Sammy taught this guy to drive. Pretty sure. It's his freaking nephew. So I'm pretty sure Sammy taught him to drive. We have to re-educate him. Texoma style. Let's go. All right, dude. 18P. Where is he struggling? Tires. The stock tires. They're so weird. They feel good in your hands. They're nice. I don't know. They have a grip. And then when you go to drive, they feel like they have a grip. They have a noise. And they have a slip. And you're like, what the heck, dude? And you run them up and you do everything you can and they slip. So that's what he's really struggling with. And you got the stock shocks on there, which are absolutely terrible. So trading those two things out. I believe he has the CR18P or the Hobby Plus wheel weights in there. And so if he changed his shock setup, maybe mounted his body properly, and changed the tires, that thing would actually do very, very well. CR18P is a killer. Here we go. Terry's up in the deadbolt. Let's go, bud.
Nobody has to see that brown Terry.
Or you can just do what Terry did and just bouncer style, just rip the flip out of it. You know what I'm saying? He just ripped the flip right out of that one, dude. I was gonna say something else, but I probably shouldn't say it. Try to keep it child friendly, bro. Trying to keep it nice. All right, dude. This is Craig's TRX4M. His FCX24 had broken. He got tired of the differential. He did fight and he did make it up on that last one. I wasn't paying attention. Definitely props on that one for sticking with it, Craig, and destroying your rig in the process. But great job. Just stripped out differential again. So we finally got it, dude. He got the thing to bounce loose, but this is where it tracks his TRX4M, dude. See that differential? Terrible. See the steering link? Absolutely terrible. See the body and the belly clearance? Absolutely terrible. So as long as you don't hit those things, it's pretty good. You can make it super duper floppy and put massive duper springs or something on it. But, you know, anyways, it's an interesting thing. It has its own problems. So if it's your style, then it's probably the best. If it's not, then it's certainly not the best. So it just... It's pretty cool. It's definitely a very cool rig. So there you go, dude. Pushing it down. One more time, Sammy, dude. You can do this, bro. You can do it. I'm telling you, bro. You can do it. So, man, we're coming up on the end here. I sure do appreciate you dudes hanging out. If you have not and you got $5 a month that you wouldn't mind sharing with me, join the Patreon, dude. Save 20% on the Etsy store, Texoma RC. Pick yourself up a Slayer. Check them out, dude. Texoma RC on Etsy.com. Patreon, Texoma RC. That would be freaking rad. I would appreciate it, dude. Goes a long way. Means a lot to me, and just helps me to keep doing this. So sure do appreciate it. Check out the description. Hope you guys have a great freaking week, dude. Hope you guys get out and play with some buddies whenever you get a chance, dude. I'll share my buddies as much as I can, man, but there's nothing that replaces buddies in real life, man. I try to do this to share and be your buddy, to share my buddies with you, dude, because buddy time is freaking rad. And so I appreciate you hanging with me, being buddies with me, man. I hope you guys have a great one, dude. And as always, dude, freaking rip till you flip.